potato.
How you doing, movie fans? Thank you for tuning in. So, listen, I really didn't want to see this movie, but my curiosity got the best of me. After 5 Transformers movies directed by Michael Bay, I think we've all grown a little sick of the franchise. Alright, well, he's obviously doing something right, because most of his movies are hits. But it's not just every Transformers movie that feels the same. It's every Michael Bay movie. Let's see. Sunrises? Military? Spinning camera? The end. But Transformers is one of those examples where it still makes a ton of money internationally. Transformers 5, for example, had a $217 million budget and only grossed $130 million in the United States, which would be a failure in most cases, but it managed to pull in $475 million overseas. As a result, the franchise just marches on. But this time without Michael Bay in the director's chair. And while I could certainly do without a Transformers film for quite some time, I was curious what a Bayless Transformers movie would look like. While the film might not feel necessary, this scaled back and more emotionally driven story is certainly a step in the right direction and breathes some new life back into this otherwise stale franchise. Let's take a look.
So, during a battle on the planet Cybertron between the good guys, the Autobots, and the bad guys, the Decepticons, the Autobots are basically getting their asses kicked. Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, launches Bumblebee, then only known as B-127, into space with a mission to set up a base on Earth and wait for the other Autobots to arrive. After crashing on Earth, Bumblebee eventually crosses paths with teenager Charlie Watson, played by Haley Steinfeld, after she repairs what she believes to be her very first car. While the first car narrative is similar to the original 2007 film, I assure you, Charlie is a far better and a more emotionally rough around the edges character than Shia LaBeouf's Sam Witwicky. She's had difficulty getting over the passing of her father and hasn't quite accepted her new stepdad as a family member. This is very much less like the fast-paced, blam blam boom action of the Michael Bay films, and more like an 80s coming-of-age story with a cool soundtrack and a Transformer in it. That's not to say the movie doesn't contain any action, because of course it does. 2 Decepticons, Drop, Kick, and Shatter, are hot on Beast Tail, and Agent Burns, played by John Cena, also wants to turn him into scrap metal.
Now, I don't mean to sound like I'm putting this movie on a pedestal here. I mean, it definitely had a few head-scratching moments, like how does a kid practically just walk into an area that should be heavily guarded by military simply by sliding through a fence opening. Also, there's a scene towards the end where the family kind of throws themselves in the middle of the action. And I know it's just to illustrate that they're starting to trust her and what she's doing, but it just felt really, really cheesy. Actually, I think I would have done a lot of the family scenes differently. But aside from that, the movie definitely still exceeded my expectations, and I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks.